assassination attempt. This should make every American pissed off. Every American should be pissed off about this, because I know I am. And thank God they didn't get to him, but we're going to get all the latest news. Here's the press release that just came out earlier today. And it's just, I mean, we still have a couple of weeks left until the actual election. He has to be campaigning. He has to be given protection. If you know who Senator Hawley is, I've done a lot of videos on my channel. Senator Hawley has talked a lot about having whistleblowers say the Secret Service is not just grossly incompetent, there's something nefarious going on. God forbid. They haven't been able to actually confirm it, but they've got all sorts of whistleblowers coming out. And so they released this press release saying that a 49-year-old resident of Las Vegas, illegal possession of a shotgun, a loaded handgun, and you can see the highlighted, a high-capacity magazine. He got into the Trump grounds in the Coachella live Trump rally, which we were live there. We were live. And was able to almost get through with a VIP media pass. 3 illegal firearms, not 1, not 2, 3. Why are you bringing that to a Trump rally? Well, Sheriff Bianco says he was attempting to unalive our president, our future number 45 and number 47. So we're just waiting to see the press conference. It is now 3:01 Pacific time, and this is supposed to go live any second now. And we're just waiting for that. That's what we're waiting for. So, yeah, I don't want to jump to conclusions. I'm seeing a lot of people in the chat saying he was released on bail and it wasn't a big deal or it was a big deal. I'm going to wait for the actual information. I have profound respect for Sheriff Bianco. He came out months ago and endorsed Donald Trump, endorsed in his viral video. He says, I'm endorsing the felon. You'd never thought in a million years you would hear a sheriff say they're endorsing a felon. And it almost cost him, it cost him a lot of people were pissed off at him, right? And it almost cost him his position. And so we're just waiting now. It should be going live any second now. And we're going to go live right to the press conference that is happening in in Riverside County, and they're going to tell us all the information about this third assassination attempt. And we're going to go live right to them in just a few moments. My fellow Americans, ladies and gentlemen, this should be a huge wake-up call. I mean, what in the world is going on in our country? They've tried to smear him. They tried to destabilize him, decredit him. They tried to imprison him. They tried to bankrupt him. They've already tried to assassinate him twice. And now this is a third attempt that was, thank God, thwarted. The other guy had a huge manifesto. Thomas Crooks was able to get on the roof and get within an earshot. I mean, gosh, no pun intended. When is this going to stop? Okay, so we're just waiting momentarily here. We are waiting for this press conference to start. You have to ask yourself a question, especially if you are a liberal, especially if you're voting for Kamala. Kamala, you can't vote for Kamala, quite frankly, probably the worst decision you could ever make. She will kill our country. It's a fact. Watch Professor Nez. He's a brilliant guy. Quite frankly, probably the best YouTuber out there. Thank you, Mr. Trump. You have to ask yourself, if you're voting for Kamala, why? The most important question, I mean, there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions. Why did she hold out on the American public? Why didn't she tell the American public that this vegetable in chief, who was making consequential decisions for millions, if not billions of people, not just Americans, but all over the world, why didn't you alert the American public that there was a vegetable in office who was making consequential decisions, and he was in cognitive decline. Why didn't you tell the American public? That's a really important question. But another important question is, why do they keep trying to get rid of this guy? Why? That's a pressing question today, maybe more important than anything. Okay, so those are some things to ruminate. So we're just waiting on that. I might share a video if I have some time here. I really don't want to miss this. I'm just refreshing the feed as we speak. But I want to talk about a few things. There's a huge breaking news story that Tim Walz had some kind of relationship, illegal, underage relationship with a student of his in Ohio, or a student of the Ohio system, or some. I'm not going to speculate right now, but there's a lot of this story is gaining a lot of steam. It is alleged. It's all alleged, but I'm sure you guys have heard of it too. I'm paying a lot of attention to it to kind of see. I'm not going to do a video on it until I get conclusive evidence. You guys know I always share with you the truth, and I always do my own due diligence, qualitative and quantitative research. Huge news. It's sparking embers all over the online ecosystem, making even networks, even mainstream, lamestream media is talking about it. And I've been doing a lot of research on it. I'm trying to find out if it really is legit or not. Right now, I don't have enough, but stay tuned, because I'm definitely going to do a story on that if it turns out to have some kind of legitimacy. While we're waiting for that, Axios just published. This is the left media, by the way. Axios just published that the relationship between Kamala Harris's team and Joe Biden's White House has been increasingly fraught in the final weeks before Election Day. 10 people familiar with the situation tell Axios that they don't like each other. The staff of Kamala and the staff of Biden, they're bitter because they ousted him. They essentially executed a coup on a sitting president. I don't think that's surprising at all. What do you expect when you throw somebody to the curb who actually earned votes, as opposed to a DEI hire like Kamala, who's a DEI hire who doesn't have any votes, any credentials, any acumen, had one job as vice president. She's literally the worst vice president in the history of our country. She only had one task. She had one task. And guess what that task was? To oversee the border. And we have the worst border crisis in the history of our country. 18 million plus. And that's not even counting the gotaways. 18 million plus illegal migrant criminals have been let into our country by this administration. You saw the Border Patrol Union themselves. The Border Patrol Union themselves have just said, if you elect Border Czar Harris, our country is going to go to beep, essentially the toilet. She had one job and she blew it. Not only did she blow it in the worst possible way imaginable. So Axios is saying that there is some strain on the relationship. I did a video on this where it seemed like they were, what seemed to be happening was he kept doing press conferences at the same exact time that Kamala was doing interviews, or he would have a live Q&A at the same time that they were airing Kamala's fake pre-rehearsed, premeditated town hall or interview with CNN or interview with MSNBC or whatever, and they weren't on the same page. I have said this many times, and I'm going to say it one more time. I truly believe, I think Biden's going to vote for Trump. What do you guys think? Free poll. I love how Trump says free poll. Let me know in the comments right now. Do you think, and I think that would be the best October surprise of all time, do you think that Biden is going to vote for Kamala, or is Biden going to vote for Trump? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll give you a live shout out as we wait for this press conference. Let me know. Thank you so much, Fixie Clary, for the $5 super chat. Harris is proof positive that fake it till you make it can only take you so far. Well said. Well said. I've never been an advocate for fake it till you make it, but you bring up a great point. Fuzzy Doxy says Trump. Yep, Biden for Trump. A lot of people are saying Trump. I see a lot of Trumps in the comments. Do you actually think... Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Do we have something here? Hold on. Okay, let's go live. Hold on a second, guys. Here comes the okay, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Here we go. Okay. So I am going to... Here we go. Here comes Sheriff Bianco.
We all good? Everyone ready? Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming here today. I am Chad Bianco. I'm the Sheriff of Riverside County, and we are obviously here to talk about an incident that occurred yesterday at the rally that former President Trump had in Coachella. There has been a lot of media stir beginning last night with social media and further on today about the arrest. And so I am here to give you as much information as I can. I will answer all of the questions that you have. Keep in mind that the information that I'm going to give you may not be all of the information that I have, but because of what we're doing and because of the investigation that will obviously continue concerning this, there are some things that I cannot give you or that I will not give you, but I will do everything I can to answer your questions. So to begin with, yesterday afternoon, before former President Trump arrived to the rally, we made contact with an individual on the inner perimeter of our operation at the rally. As you can imagine, this was a very large event in regard to previous attempts on the former president's life. This was not something that we were taking lightly. We had a very detailed plan in place on how we were going to keep not only the former president safe, but all of the participants or the attendees of the rally safe. So in general terms, I will tell you that we had a larger outside perimeter and then an inside perimeter that was completely controlled by us, by Riverside County Sheriff's deputies, and both of them served different purposes. We did not keep residents from their homes. We did not keep people that were traveling through the area from going through if they had a legitimate reason to go through. So the outside perimeter was basically to allow people in that we thought belonged there. The inside perimeter was to make sure people were proceeding in the right direction. The way it worked yesterday is only people that were allowed inside the perimeter, the outside perimeter in a vehicle, was if you lived there or if you had documentation that said you were going to this rally in the form of an email with VIP credentials or press credentials. Those vehicles were allowed in. There were no other vehicles allowed. So that outside perimeter are I will give you his name. The name that we have, and I'm going to put an asterisk by it as I explain this later, but we have his name as Vem, V-E-M, Miller, M-I-L-L-E-R, and his birth date is 10/26 of 1974. And the reason why I gave it to you like that is I will explain later. He approached the outside perimeter, gave all indications that he belonged there, that he was that he was a participant that was allowed to get into VIP and to and a press corps, and so he was allowed through that outer perimeter. As he got to the inside perimeter, where deputies were conducting obviously a more thorough evaluation of the vehicles that were coming in, there were many irregularities that popped up. The deputy noticed that the interior of the vehicle was in quite disarray. The vehicle had an obviously fake license plate, and that prompted further investigation from our deputy into why the person was there and what he was doing. During that investigation, the deputy eventually found multiple passports with multiple names, multiple driver's license with different names. The vehicle was unregistered, and the license plate was what we in law enforcement would recognize as one that is homemade and indicative of a group of individuals that claim to be sovereign citizens. And assuming the deputy assumes that he was part of that identifying group. So during the investigation, obviously those identification documents were found, in addition to a loaded handgun and a shotgun. Obviously, this was before the former president arrived. The person was taken into custody. He was eventually booked into jail on those charges, and eventually he was released. He will have to further his court case is in the future. Right now, we are actively engaged in working with Secret Service and the FBI to ensure that this person is followed up on and all of the information that they can gather. I can tell you that from my perspective, from a state law enforcement agency's perspective, the firearms charges is what we arrested him for and booked him on. Anything further will come from the federal government. And quite frankly, I don't know if we will be a part of that. We will certainly be a part of that investigation and cooperating with them. But those charges, if any, will come from them. They will not come from us. With that being said, is there any questions?
Yeah, there
Yes,
are.
We talked to Mr. Miller this afternoon, and he said the accusations or the belief that he planned to assassinate President Trump were, quote, complete bullshit. He said that he had a special access pass that was issued to him by a Republican group in Clark County, Nevada, and that when he rolled up to the checkpoint, he told the deputies that, in his words, as a courtesy, that he had firearms in the trunk of his car. Do you have a comment on that?
I will not comment on what he said, or specifics that we learned or gained from our contact with him. Quite frankly, I'm not really concerned with the statement that he gave the media after he was released from custody. I can tell, well, because it's irrelevant to me. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, there were a minimum of 25,000 people that entered past those deputies into that location that had legitimate identification and weren't carrying guns. So I will just go from there. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. So basically, I honestly, I will be honest with you. I don't remember saying that, but it certainly would be something I did say because it's something that in the last 12 hours we've talked about extensively of what happened. Thank God. And by an act of really what we did in the week leading up to keeping that place secure, I certainly wouldn't want to be saying after the fact that I wish we would have done something to prevent that shooting. And there is absolutely no way that any of us are going to truly know what was in his head. I can tell you that none of the other probably 50,000 people that showed up yesterday for that event brought multiple passports with different names and guns.
That's crazy.
And
that's crazy. Of course he was going to do something. That's crazy.
If there is any further statement about whether or not he belonged there, the statement of him saying that he was given credentials to be there by someone else, that's not up to me to decide. I mean, we didn't arrest him for going inside the facility. We arrested him for having illegal guns in his car.
Oh my God.
What his frame of mind was, all we can do is speculate, unless we truly just want to believe anything that he tells us. a dramatic statement for me to make.
Well, just, yeah, I guess if there wasn't any,
So this is what I'm glad of. This is what I am very glad of. I know that the presence that we had at the rally with deputies, with snipers, with counter snipers, and Secret Service snipers and counter snipers. I am glad that we're not talking about this after we shot him. We get to talk about it before, and no matter what, it's all going to be speculation about what his intentions were getting there. What we do know is he showed up with multiple passports with different names.
That's crazy.
An unregistered vehicle with fake license plate,
Jeez.
and loaded firearms.
That's awful.
If you're asking me right now, I probably did have deputies that prevented the third assassination attempt.
100%.
If we are that politically lost,
myopic, yeah,
that we have lost sight of common sense and reality and reason, that we can't say that, holy crap, what did he show up with all of that stuff for and loaded guns? And I'm going to be accused of being dramatic. We have a serious, serious problem in this
I love
country,
this guy,
because this is common sense and reason.
100%.
I saw some of you there yesterday. You didn't have guns and fake IDs. I don't know how else to explain it. So if you went there, the credentials are come out at the very last minute, and they are very, very vague. So there's actually 3 different points of contact and entry. We had an outer perimeter, an inner perimeter, and then you still have to go through Secret Service metal detectors and final big screening to actually get inside the facility.
This is insane.
And that is where they would verify whether those were real. And to be honest with you, that thing that you have on your phone, it's all whether or not they have you on a list. It's not just showing up with a piece of paper and saying I'm in. It's whether or not you really did apply through that website.
This makes me
Secret Service
livid.
does an extremely good job of trying to pre-vet people that are trying to get those tickets to get inside the. No. And then one thing about I will confirm, just because it was said of what him saying that someone else gave him a pass. Well, you don't get to give away passes to go to a rally of a former president or even the vice president going to her rallies. We don't get to share those things. I can't share it with my spouse, let alone with friends. So all of those things are red flags for us going in. None of those things made sense. So it wasn't that we could verify individual documents that we had, because there really isn't those things. And that would have been done at the final checkpoint going through, that is completely run by Secret Service.
Everybody should be livid right now. Livid.
I'll take the last one first. That was, we certainly are still in contact with Secret Service and the FBI, because this is obviously something that occurred that will be continuing to go till we get to the bottom of it, until there's a resolution to the entire thing. The second thing and the second and third thing, I knew this was going to happen. I couldn't care less what political party he belongs to. I honestly, I think that's the stupidest thing in the world, that we have to label something and we're labeling this as politics. He was a lunatic. He was, and from my perspective in law enforcement, it's that group. If in fact it turns out that he is part of the sovereign citizens group, they are certainly considered a far right group I wouldn't.
He was a
In my own
spy. He was an
personal
imposter.
belief, I wouldn't say it's a militant
He
group. It's
wasn't
just
far
a
right.
group that doesn't believe in government and government control. They don't believe that the government and laws apply to them. So I think it's fringe one way or the other. I couldn't care less. It's people trying to do harm, and thank God we prevented it.
The question is whether these guys were funded
Yes.
and had external help. That's the key. This is a good question right here. Why isn't this on mainstream media? Because mainstream media is garbage.
I'm sure there were multiple cars that drew attention, but and every single vehicle that made it into the actual event, every single vehicle was checked. He did not make it into the event. He made it to our interior perimeter that was maybe 100, 200 yards away from the actual interior perimeter. So he didn't get to the point where Secret Service would find him. We identified him, detained him, and eventually arrested him before he got to the actual event entrance.
That was about 100 to 200 yards before the entrance.
Please don't quote me on that, but yes, I mean, I think it's roughly, as I'm trying to imagine the entrance and where he was, I think it's about a quarter of a mile, 250 yards, maybe. I'm not 100% sure.
President Trump mentioned you and your family there during the rally. How close were you sitting to him, and who other, you don't have to
Mention him at the rally.
family members?
He's asking how far away were you?
I did have my family members there, and we were lucky enough and gracious enough to have VIP seating, so we were relatively close.
About how far were you?
How far away was I from him?
Right.
40 yards.
What's your point?
What might have happened? Do you feel concerned for your safety or your family's safety now?
I will tell you, as the sheriff of Riverside County, and knowing what we know going into this event, that there had been 2 attempts on our former president's life, and the amount of people that were going to be coming to this in such a short notice, what my team was able to do and what we did for the goers to this event, for the attendees, I was completely confident that there was absolutely nothing going to happen inside that facility. And I am or inside that venue. And I am extremely proud of what the deputies did, and the buy-in, the personal buy-in that they took upon themselves to ensure the safety of our former president and the attendees of that rally. I was not concerned for myself at any point.
Even after the fact, knowing that this guy was there?
It was our intent to make sure that there was an outside perimeter and an inside perimeter, that no one that did not belong there, that intended to do him harm or anyone else harm, would be allowed inside that event. And we did exactly what we had hoped for. And in hindsight, looking back, the planning that my team did and the actions of my deputies into this is exactly what we had hoped for. And we know that we prevented something bad from happening, and it's irrelevant what that bad was going to be.
Were there any adjustments to security after the discovery was made, especially with so many people leaving this large scale event, traffic backups and everything? Did you guys readjust what you were doing in terms of security?
No, I will tell you that when I was told that we had made an arrest, and the brief particulars of what the arrest was, what it involved, I really, my first thought was, we did everything right. It worked. I was told where it was. I knew it was an outside perimeter, and I was not concerned at all. I was not concerned for anyone else's safety. I knew that the precautions that we put in, the measures that we put in, did exactly what they were supposed to do. The other part of your question, the aftermath, the people leaving, I cannot tell you. I've been told way too many times today and in the middle of the night that it didn't go very smoothly. There was a lot of people trying to leave at the same time, and logistically, it wasn't it wasn't conducive to going smoothly. And as far as we know, there were no injuries, there were no incidents, there was no neighbors called to complain or anything like that. And as far as I know, everyone made it home safely. So two different questions there, or parts to it, but we did not do anything different. I will say, I take that back. We did. There were a lot of people that have complained or that have said or wondered why there are deputies in riot gear. We had deputies that were offsite that were ready for something, to respond to something should something happen, and they were never intended to come inside the facility unless that happened. Afterward, when everything was over and it was obvious there were problems with people leaving, with people trying to get over fences and those types of issues, we did bring those deputies in just as extra help in funneling people out. There was never any, the only odd part about that was they were prepared all day in their riot gear, if you want to call it that. And that's how they showed up. We got them there as quick as they could. There was never any, we certainly didn't treat it like a riot situation. It wasn't. Everyone was very orderly in their efforts to leave. And we just ensured that no one got hurt, or everyone stayed out of the street, stay on the sides, and everything was orderly. But other than that, everything was fine. And as we went throughout the day yesterday, we didn't change anything.
3.
What charges were filed? When is the arraignment? Anything else related to it?
There were 2 guns and multiple boxes of ammunition for both. There was a handgun and a shotgun. And he was cited for the gun. They were unregistered firearms. So he was cited for the unregistered loaded firearms in a vehicle. And he was, those are state crimes, and he was released on those crimes. He was booked into jail and released with a promise to appear at a future date in court. And I'm sorry, I don't know what that date is.
Gavin
I'm
Newscomb.
Sure on our Jim's information,
Let him
it will
go.
show when his
Gavin
next court date
Newscomb.
is.
Goddamn Gavin Newscomb.
It semantically, I can't comment on whether or not there is an actual physical fake pass. He claimed to be a journalist, and he claimed to have VIP status at the event that got him into the perimeter. And then when that investigation was continued by the deputy, that didn't necessarily materialize. So other than his words of saying he was a journalist and that he was there as a media, I can't tell you that that he gave us a document that said I'm the media, and we said that was fake.
Were you able to verify that Instagram account that I visited?
As of yet, I have not. I know they're working on it, and someone may have tried to tell me, but I didn't bring my phone, and that's how they would have notified me. I know we're actively trying to track that down, as well as Secret Service and the FBI, but our investigation is relatively done. The continuation will be a cooperation between us, the Secret Service, and the FBI. More than likely, federal charges like that would be headed by the FBI. I can't say that for sure, but it's a combination of all 3. And I will say the working relationship and the effort that we all, the federal agencies and the sheriff's office, put into this going in was seamless. The communication is great. I have no complaints. And it's certainly, by me telling you it's someone else's investigation, that's just the nature of a federal crime. If they are ever able to prove that it was assassination attempt, and I'm not saying they're going to be able to, but anything like that would be federal. The state crimes are the weapons charges that we arrested him for.
Of course they let him go. It's Gavin Newscomb. It's California. It's my home state. They ruined my state. They've destroyed my state. Now they want to destroy America. Of course they let him go.
You don't know this guy, do you?
No, I do not. I have absolutely no idea.
Journalist my ass.
So yes, and I maybe I just didn't emphasize that enough at the end. So the name that he has given us is Vem Miller. That's what he was booked under, but he had multiple passports and IDs with different names.
Multiple passports. What do you think he was going to do?
We don't have a total yet. There are two different numbers though, because of the amount of people that were actually made it inside the venue. And then the way it works is once the former president takes the stage, nothing else moves. So if you weren't in by then, you did not get in. And we do know that there were plenty of pre-screenings that had happened at parking lots before, and we know that there were multiple thousands of people that did not get in based on timing. So we have an idea of how many people were inside and outside, and we don't have an exact number. But that's the reason why I would have said two different things. Sovereign citizens. It's a I don't know any in a law enforcement world. That's what we call them. That's what they call themselves, sovereign citizens. And it's just a political belief, if you will, that that government rules and laws and everything else that goes along with it doesn't apply to them.
So this is an organized group, and this group, they have a lot of members here in Riverside.
I won't say they have a lot. Law enforcement across the country, we train on how to deal with them just because of the verbiage that they use when they interact with us. They believe that they're not necessarily toward us violent or confrontational, but it's obvious they don't ever want to answer our questions. They don't believe they need driver's licenses. They don't believe, and this vehicle goes along with it. They don't register their vehicles. This was an unregistered car that we
Unregistered
had to go
car.
through a VIN number and manufacture process to verify
Wow.
that it was a legitimate car. It actually did belong to him. It's just, we know it was sold to him. It just was not ever registered. Sometimes they do, but I can't say as an organization as a whole, but obviously, like a lot of different groups, bad apples give a group a bad name. And there certainly are people that are, but I'm not going to say that group as a whole is a violent
This
group.
journalist is trying to pin it on the right-wing group, this fake news journalist asking him questions. Probably he's a liberal from the Los Angeles Times or something.
I need to thank that deputy for doing his job. That was the first thing that went through my mind. And it was like I probably said to somebody or around somebody that's been either printed or reprinted in social media, that I truly do believe that we prevented another assassination attempt. And it was solely by our effort of keeping those type of people out.
Right. Thank God.
It was for the handgun. The high capacity magazine was for the handgun. Yes. I won't get into specifics, but it was both of the question that you're asking. We know that there were no, not linked to an individual or specifics that I can give you. We are aware of our dogs and federal dogs that hit on people or things that we ended up not letting in, but I don't have any specifics on anything like that. There was nothing that rose to this level. Anything else?
Just weeks away
Okay,
from
thank you for coming.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable. We are weeks away from the most important election of our lives, my fellow Americans. And thank God for Sheriff Bianco and his agents and his the units that were involved in his officers in thwarting this obvious assassination attempt. Thank God. Thank you, Riverside County Sheriff Department. Trump did a rally this guy has been a machine. There's a video that I'm going to be doing soon where the Speaker of the House is talking to Kristen Welker from MSNBC or NBC or whatever the fake news media it is. And he literally said, I've never met anybody like Trump. This guy doesn't even sleep. He is doing rally after rally after rally, as he should. He's done over 65% more interviews, press conferences, live town hall, podcasts than Kamala and Tim Walz. And so, this guy is a machine and he should be protected. He should have the utmost in Secret Service protection. The guy's already had now 3. It was 2. Now today, there is no way in a million years you can look me straight in the face and tell me that this guy did not have the intention. Thank God he was thwarted, but this guy definitely had the intention. 3 illegal firearms. 1 had a multiple capacity magazine, fake passports, fake IDs, an unregistered vehicle. Nobody ever goes to a Trump rally with that kind of items, those kinds of items in their possession, let alone firearms. Why do you have a bunch of fake passports? This guy, I truly believe in my heart of hearts, every molecule in my body is screaming that he was going to unalive our president, 45 and 47, President Donald Trump, and then hightail it out to some destination with those fake passports in an unregistered vehicle so he wouldn't get stopped. Can you believe that? And because of Gavin Newsom, which, by the way, so this is my home state of California. I know what you're thinking, Nez, why do you live in California? It's a long story. Okay, I got kids. We're in school. I've got a wife. Their family is here. It's a long story. If it was my choice, we wouldn't be, okay? Even though I love this state and I love the weather, and I'm one of those people that never would be driven out by any kind of troglodytes and scum like Gavin and the rest of them, I can speak from firsthand experience, okay? I know these people. I've worked with these people. Yes, I've been running businesses for 30 years, but I also worked in the public sector. I don't just call myself Professor Nez for shits and giggles. I used to work at some of the most prestigious universities teaching Aristotle's principles of rhetoric, communications, and business for the last couple of decades. And so I know these people. I know Kamala. She has an empty black hole for a soul. She only cares about one thing: power and the retention of power. 2 things, but they're basically the same. She doesn't give a rat's ass about you, and she doesn't give a rat's ass about me. You cannot. I'm telling you, America, we have to get our country back. The whole mission of this channel is to get our country back. I'm not right or left. I'm a constitutional centrist. I love my country. I love the values and principles that were ingrained in the fabric of the greatest republic ever invented, the greatest country of all time. And I'm telling you right now, I know these people. I know Gavin. She was the district attorney. I know Kamala. She was the district attorney of San Francisco. Ruined it. Have you been to San Francisco recently? It's a dystopia. She was the attorney general of California. We have the largest illegal border crossings in history. Taxes, largest exodus of citizens, largest increase in crime, smash and grabs, homelessness. It's a travesty here. Because of her and Gavin. It's the same mentality. Then she had one job, literally one job as vice president. We have the receipts. We have the video footage. She had one measly job to oversee the border. And we have the worst border crisis in the history of our country, my fellow Americans. Nez, why are you about to rip apart at the seams? Because they've gone after my guy 3 times. And we only have a couple weeks left. For the love of everything, pray for President Trump. If you want to be able to afford groceries, afford gas, afford rent, afford your mortgage, if you want to be able to take your kid to the park and not worry about homeless, weirdo, zombie, fentanyl-addicted mooks trying to attack you, if you want to actually go back to an America that we were raised in, an America that made sense without shoving transgender woke ideologies down the throats of all our children in critical race theory when they don't care about an arbitrary trait like skin tone, you gotta vote. You gotta get out there. You have to get out there. They're going to end this guy. This is the 3rd attempt. They're going to end this guy, man. We have to get our country back. It is mandatory. It is a moral imperative that we get our country back. So vote early, vote yesterday, vote now, vote like your life depends on it, because guess what? It actually does. Vote like your grandkids' lives, your kids' lives depend on it, because guess what? It actually does. I'm going to be following up on this report. I'm going to be following up on this story. So make sure that you stay tuned. If you are somebody who enjoys understanding the truth about your country, the greatest republic ever invented, and the world beyond, you need to subscribe, follow. In the show notes and in the description, there is our free newsletter. Sign up for our free newsletter. It might be in the pinned comment too. So it's free. Just give us your best email and boom, you'll never miss out. I post new videos every single day. So I want to give shout outs to Johan. Good to see you for the $5 super chat. If you gave me a super chat or you're a new member, I'm going to give you shout outs right now live on air. I want to give a huge shout out to JoJo. Thank you so much, JoJo. They will do everything they can to keep Trump from winning, and I mean everything. You're absolutely right. Thank you, JoJo. You're amazing. Thank you so much, Marley, for gifting not one, not two, but 3 Professor Nez memberships. Marley, thank you so much. To all new members, welcome, A, to the greatest channel on planet Earth to get our country back. But 2, you get a ton of benefits besides supporting a channel that is aimed at the United States of America, freedom, our constitutional liberties, getting practical common sense back into our neighborhoods, our communities, our cities, our towns. You also get automatically registered when you become a new member into our live stream giveaways. I just gave away 2 $50 Amazon gift cards yesterday, randomly. I do it a lot, randomly. I've given away thousands of dollars of Amazon gift cards. I got merch, hats, shirts, you name it, hoodies, stickers, buttons, mugs, you name it. You also get a badge next to your name, special live stream shout outs. You also get priority comments, top responses, the boost of engagement. You also get top priority when we have guests on, live Q&A. And you also get access to our members only Discord, which is a thriving, engaging community of like-minded patriots. You got to become a member. It only costs you, for crying out loud, it only costs you a cup of coffee a month. A cup of coffee a month. Quite frankly, here's my Trump impression. Who's ready for my Trump impression? It's been getting a lot better. If you want to understand the truth, the fake news, forget about the fake news. They don't know anything. You got to become a member of Professor Nez. He's got the greatest channel. I love this guy. He's really good looking, and he does, quite frankly, probably the best work that you can find out there. If I were you, watch Professor Nez. He's my guy, and I like him a lot. Tell me my Trump impression isn't amazing. How do you not love this guy? So, new members, that's what you can expect. Hook up with Laura Tilford or go on our community tab on my YouTube channel, and you will find a post there that has the link for members only, our Discord, access to our Discord. Thank you, Fixie Clary, for the $5 super chat. Harris is proof positive that fake it till you make it will only take you so far. Absolutely. Well said. Thank you, Will Crump. No denying Democratic Party is behind these attempts. Their rhetoric is crafted to inflame people and foment hatred of Trump. Thank you, Will, for the $5 super chat. They have sown the seeds of violence, of vitriolic rhetoric, inflammatory comments, and negativity. There is a statistic, I don't have the actual chart, but there is an actual statistic that the percentage of positive news Kamala gets versus Trump, it's like 94% positive for Kamala in the mainstream media, and something like 93, 94%, same amount, negative for Trump. So that should tell you everything right there. And they're amping up the voltage. They're actually turning up the heat. Hillary Clinton just said recently, she said, we need to all have a consensus. We need to all be consistent and go after Trump and attack him. She literally said that on camera, on live camera. So it's awful. It is their I don't want to say sole responsibility, but they have created this environment, calling him a threat to democracy, calling him Hitler, comparing him to dictators and autocrats when they themselves are the malicious autocrats. They've created the atmosphere. Thank you, Will. You're absolutely true. Thank you, Marley. YouTube is editing my comments and super chats even. Yeah, you know what? I totally get that, Marley, but I see you and thank you so much. It happens sometimes. Bernie, Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I'm continually in prayer, Professor. Everybody pray for our president. Everybody pray for President Trump. Please pray. Please, God, protect President Trump. He is the only hope for our country. He is the only hope for practicality, for constitutional engagement and reinvigoration of the principles and values of our country. Thank you so much, Bernie. It's great to see you. Thank you, Patrast, for the $4.99 super chat. Professor Nez, thank you for taking time away from your family to cover this because the mainstream media won't. Thank you so much, Patrast. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Tracy Harris, welcome for being a new member. I hope you heard everything that I said earlier about new members. Welcome to the channel. It's great to have you here. Will Crump with a $2 super chat. Mainstream media is complicit. They spew the vitriol for DNC. Absolutely, Will. I couldn't agree more. Thank you, Will. Must love dogs. I love dogs. As a matter of fact, I got to go take my dog Blue for a walk. Thank you so much, Must Love Dogs. I definitely love dogs. Release and follow to see his other connections. Yeah, they just released him because it's Gavin Newsom. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Must Love Dogs. Ultra Fine Point with the $10 super chat. Thank you, Ultra Fine Point. Cannot believe this level of hatred from the left. Go Trump, go. All the votes. It needs to be. This is why you need to grab everybody. Ultra Fine Point. You need to grab everybody you know, and you need to drag them down to the ballot box. It can't be too big to rig. It needs to be impossible to rig. We have to win. We have to win. Ivan Blutarski, ballots, not bullets. Thank you so much, Ivan. Well said. I love that. Poetic even. We have the best, smartest audience here. Mark Timothy Moses, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. This is BS that these people are so vile enough to risk this to get to Trump. I'm going to find whoever did this. Mother of God. Thank you, Mark. I feel your hatred. I feel your lividness. I feel your disappointment and your frustration because every American should. This has got to stop. It's insane. Thank you, Will Crump. Will, you're a legend. Multiple passports and he's not a flight risk? Exactly. Exactly. How does that make sense? It makes no sense. It's Gavin Newsom. It's Gavin Newsom's California. That's what it is. Thank you, Will. Big Sal up north. It's good to see you, Big Sal. Thank you for the $5 super chat. The far left are mentally ill. This should not surprise. We've got the lead. Time to play defense. You know what? I don't pay attention to the polls, Big Sal, as I've said many, many times. I don't want anybody to pay attention to the polls. Remember what Kobe Bryant said. Reporter asked him, hey, you're up 2-0 in the finals. How come you're not smiling? He says, what's there to smile about? Job finished? I don't think so. We need to work 100x harder. Mamba mentality. These hypocrites, I don't call them Democrats because I agree with Robert Kennedy Jr. This is not the Democratic Party of his uncle and his father, JFK and RFK. This is a complete far left extreme Marxist party. They are anti-American, pro-terrorist, letting in illegal migrant criminals so they can create the uniparty. That is their only incentive is power. They don't give a rat's ass about anybody. We have to get our country back. So don't pay attention to the polls. I don't care if it says Trump's ahead by 20, 30. We need to act like we're down in the fourth quarter with only a couple minutes left, and we need to work 100x harder. I know I am, and I hope you will too. Must Love Dogs, you're amazing. Thank you again for the $2 super chat. Way too many October surprises. I know it's got to stop, unless it's in our favor. Thank you, Ivan, for the £2. Who paid the bail? Follow the money. Exactly. Well said. Well said, Ivan. Ultra Fine Point, you're amazing. Thank you so much. God bless you for the $10 super chat. Anybody else going to point out the super great mustache game this man is running? Yeah, just trying to bring some levity. I hear you. I love Chef Bianco. Chef. I keep calling him Chef. Sheriff. He is kind of a chef. He's cooking up some serious justice. Sheriff Bianco. I absolutely love him. Thank you, Peter Ortiz. The legend Peter Ortiz is here. $2 super chat. When and where did this happen? Is DJ Donald's okay? He's fine. But there was another attempt. It's obvious that there was another attempt. Thank God that Sheriff Bianco and his staff and his officers were able to thwart it. Ultra Fine Point, thank you again. My God, Ultra Fine Point, you're amazing. For the $10 super chat, power and money are all most politicians care about. Trump already has this. What he's doing is changing the game. Trump is the real deal. He absolutely. He could be hanging out on a beach playing golf every day. He has money. He has notoriety. He has fame. Why is he? I mean, They say that he's a coward. They say Obama, God, Obama is the worst. He is the divider in chief. Obama saying he's not a true leader with character. The guy took a bullet for us. What are you talking about? He took a bullet for us, and he's getting a lot of backlash from Black America. Thank God. People are waking up. They're smart. That's why they're doing all this. Peter Ortiz, you're a legend. Thank you for gifting 5 Professor Nez memberships. Peter Ortiz, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Jim Barrett in the house gifted 5 Professor Nez memberships. JB, the main mod with Laura Tilford. I love you guys. Thank you, JB. You're amazing. Must Love Dogs is a brand new member. Welcome. Yes, I'm good looking, Peter. What's wrong with you? Thank you, Peter, for the $2 super chat. Judith just became a new member. Welcome, Judith. Hopefully you were paying attention to everything I described. I'm not going to go over it again, but you get a lot. You get a lot here. A lot of benefits, a lot of amenities. Never mind the fact that you're supporting the greatest channel on planet Earth to get our country back. I mean, for the love of everything. Holy macadamia nut. Come on, y'all. Greg Hamlin, thank you so much for the $1.99 super sticker. Thank you, Greg. You're amazing. I appreciate that, sir. John Kamen, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. John, God bless you. After what I just witnessed while volunteering in North Carolina last week, nothing shocks me. Oh, and by the way, Godspeed. Thank you for reminding me, John. Godspeed to everybody who was affected by Hurricane Helene, Hurricane Milton. Godspeed to all Floridians, North Carolinians, Georgians, Tennesseans, everybody, Virginians, everybody who was affected. Godspeed to all of you. We are definitely thinking about you and sending our best wishes, and we wish you nothing but the best. So God bless you all, and I hope you guys are able to get things turned around very, very quickly. Thank you for the reminder, and thank you, John, for the $10 super chat. Marley, you're amazing. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Even if Trump wins, it's still another month or so until he takes office. Exactly. But I did a video on J.D. Vance destroying, absolutely obliterating Martha Raddatz from ABC today. I feel so comforted. You got to go watch that video. If you haven't seen that video will comfort you big time. It is an amazing video that shows how amazing and smart picking J.D. Vance was for VP. It is amazing. Thank you, Marley. You're absolutely right. Kelly, thank you so much for the $19.99 super sticker. God bless you, girl. Thank you so much. Love your profile pic. You look stunning. Thank you, Kelly. You're amazing. Peter Ortiz, do not. Yes. Thank you, Peter Ortiz, the legend, with the $5 super chat. Don't spike the ball until we win. 100%. 100%. There's nothing to celebrate right now. We cannot spike the football. Barbara, $5 super sticker. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, Babs. Love you, girl. Hope you're doing fantastic. And look at that. We got to give a big shout out to Flash Fam, who's been a member for 1 month. You're great, Nez. Keep up the outstanding work. Coming from you, Flash Fam, that means the absolute world to me. And if you want to, thank you so much, Must Love Dogs. If the ops aren't following this man after his release, you better bet your butt Trump's people are. Thank you so much, Must Love Dogs. I love dogs, and I love my dog. And I got to get going because I got to go walk him right now. He's actually scratching at the door right now. I've shown you pictures of Blue. I love my dog more than anything. He's my best friend. He's my sanctuary. I have kids too. I love my big kids, but just between you and me, no, I can't say that on live TV, on live internet. I can't say that, but I love my dog. I love my kids. I'm just kidding. If you love our country, if you want to see the truth, this is the only place you got to be. You got to follow. You got to subscribe. Sign up for our free newsletter. It's in the pinned comment in the show notes and description. And also, it should be in the pinned comment as well. Make sure you turn on all notifications so you never miss out. I post brand new videos every single day for you guys and for really our country, for our kids and grandkids' future. Great grandkids. I don't want to see America flourish for 100 years or a couple of centuries. I want America to flourish for trillions of years, ad infinitum, from here to eternity. So with your help, by you watching, tapping the thumbs up and commenting and watching all the videos, it helps us push our videos out to more people. So I love you guys. Thank you so much. Ultra Fine Point, you're amazing. Thank you for the $5 super chat. JD Vance was a great pick. We need more Appalachians and vets in government. Amen to that. I co-sign that right there. Thank you so much, Ultra Fine Point. You're amazing. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Everybody pray for our president, Donald Trump. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you stick around, subscribe, and follow. You're not going to be disappointed. I guarantee and promise you that. And as always, may God bless you. May God bless President Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. And may God bless America. I'll see you soon.